Okay, on page 4 and on slide 16, it asks you to follow some directions in order to perform these translations. So we're going to look at triangle ABC, and the first one asks you to translate ABC 6 units to the right. So hopefully, and you can check your work by sliding the colored rectangle, the directions off to the side on the slideshow, but let's talk about how we do that just in case. So here we have B, A, and C, and we're going to translate it 6 units to the right. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of the units have to go the same direction and the same distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This becomes B prime. This is C prime and A prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that gives us a rigid transformation. And we can double check to make sure that our shapes are congruent. The second one asks you, the line of reflection is 1 unit to the right of point C. So if this is our line of reflection, 1 unit to the right of point C, and we're going to reflect ABC over this line of reflection. So I'm going to draw this line of reflection here. And I'm going to also put it on my paper, my tracing paper. So now I'm going to flip this over. I need my line of reflection to go right back to the line of reflection again. And I'm going to use a different color this time to help this stand out. So now this becomes C prime. This is A prime. And B is here, B prime. Okay, and we can see that we have created, my camera holder is in the way, sorry about that. I can see that it created a congruent triangle. Let's double check that distance, because remember, reflection is the transformation where distance, we can double check to see, make sure the distance is the same. So I have 1 unit distance here. Here from the line of reflection, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for B prime. A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units to the line of reflection. And A prime is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 also. Okay, the third one asks you to translate ABC, triangle ABC, down 2 units and then 7 units to the right. So we're going to use another color this time. We'll go down down 2. So let's just start with A. We're going to go down 2 and 7 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be A prime. If this is confusing for you to have the more than one shape on the same piece of grid paper, you are more than welcome to get a different piece of grid paper. There's a bunch that you could choose the size that you want to print that I linked in the online learning folder. So go ahead and print that, and that might help you if it's too much to have all of these shapes on the same grid. Let's go to, this is A prime. Again, we're going to go down 2 from point B. We'll go down 2 and to the right 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now this is B prime. C, we'll do the same thing, down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is C prime. And now connect our pairs, our ordered pair, our points there. And we can double check to make sure that we have a congruent triangle, which we do. The last one asks you to translate triangle ABC to the right and down 2 units, and then rotate it, the triangle, 90 degrees counterclockwise. So first, let's do the translation. It asks us to go down and to the right and down. So we're going to go to the right 2, down 2, and then rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. So that means we're going to go this direction, counterclockwise 90 degrees. I am going to pick a point that we're going to look at this line, AC. And we want to create our new line is going to then create a right angle. So because 90 degrees is one right angle. So we're going to turn until this now creates a right angle with AC. This was in the same position, the same angle. And so now all we have to do is mark our points. I'm going to do that in a different color. This becomes A prime. This is B prime. And then C prime. And we can connect our points. And then go back and double check and make sure that we did it correctly. Okay? And you can also see the correct transformation if you slide those colored rectangles on the slideshow over, but I wanted you to be able to see how exactly we get these transformations to happen. Now look at the top of page 5, and it shows you that there are some figures on this grid. I'm going to go ahead and color them in just so that you can see them better on the camera. Okay, so if A is orange and B is green, and we'll say C is blue, and C goes this way. Okay, so we want to name a transformation that takes figure A to figure B. And so to go from A to B, think about what is that transformation called. If you're not sure, go back and look at your notes and which one makes it move to the right. We call that, in fact, that is a translation. And a translation, I think about, a translation, when you translate something to a different language, you are it's the same exact thing. You're saying the same thing, but you're saying it in a different way. You're saying it in another language. So, or transportation. A car is transportation, and it just moves from one space to another. The car doesn't change. The shape of the car doesn't change. So, transformation is the name of the translation is the name of the transformation for that. Okay, then to go from figure B to figure C, well, we would need to somehow get it to change the orientation. We want this longer side to be this in this direction. So we would need to rotate it 90. In this case, we're going one of these little angles. So that's 60 degrees. Rotate 60 degrees clockwise. And then we would that would bring it to here around this point. That's important, around this point. And then we would have to translate it down and translate it to the right. Another way to describe that is, I don't know if you noticed this, but this is one unit, one little triangle away from here. So we could describe that as a reflection over this line. Okay, what's one sequence of transformations that takes A to figure C? Well, in this case, they're not the same distance. So it would have to, and when it asks you for a sequence, there's more than one thing that's happening. So this one, we would in fact have to rotate and then translate. Let's see, if we went from here to here to rotate it, we would have to take this point down 1, 2 and a half in order to get it to be at this same level. And then we would have to go over to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 triangles. So being able to describe how a shape moves in space is important. I want you to take the time to look and to read the lesson summary and notice how this point changes. You'll see the arrows, which shows the movement to move from here to here. Okay?